Hi, my name is Alison Bunce. I am a product designer and I'm also a gluten-free baker. So I was born and raised in Southern California, and I started my career in New York City. I went to fashion school, and after a couple of years, I felt that I wanted to pivot my career to product design or web design. So I worked as a product designer for a few years, and then I decided I wanted to pivot my career again, but to data science. And I worked as a data scientist and a business intelligence analyst, a data analyst for a couple of years. And then after some time, I realized I missed the full funnel experience of product design. So I pivoted my career back to product design, but with a data awareness lens. But what exactly do I do as a product designer? So most recently, I've worked with Amazon, and I was hired to first reimagine the look and experience of a new subscription model. Specifically, I owned all of the food domain pages. So one of the use cases I was solving for is when you're an Alexa customer and you're asking Alexa, show me a recipe with asparagus and salmon. How Alexa would respond, the screen you see, the buttons you see, etc. I owned that experience. Another product I worked on, and this is a net new feature that we'll be launching next year, is personal recipes. And so this allowed for users to add their own recipe to their cooking library. And a cooking library is where all of your stored recipes are saved. And so this allowed for users who had a recipe, maybe from a recipe card or in a magazine, they could take a picture of it and then upload it to Alexa and then have it as one of their stored, saved recipes that they could reference later on another device, perhaps like an Echo Show. Typically, those are found in the kitchen. Before I worked at Amazon, I was at Facebook, and I'm gonna start with Facebook up again in January. But one of the products I worked on was an achievement system called Real Streaks. So the goal was to motivate and incentivize users to create reels, because creating reels within the Facebook app would help Facebook users boost their following. And so this achievement system, earning kind of this little diamond that you see here, was built to help motivate and incentivize Facebook creators to create more reels. And then another product I worked on at Meta within Reality Labs is called the Wit AI Inbox. And so this allowed for video game developers to be able to check the voice command accuracy that their video game players were experiencing when playing their video games. So, for example, if you have a video game and it's in virtual reality, and one of your gamers says to a character, "Hand me that sword." And as a video game developer, you want to assure that your game has responded to your gamer as you expect it. This tool allowed you to check that accuracy, make any modifications, and then overall improve your game. I also worked as a design and coding teacher. So I have graduated over 330 students, taking 3-month courses to date within UX design, so web design, and then also specifically learning Python. But I also love baking. So I've been baking since I was a young child. On the left is me when I was 7 years old, making like a turtle bread. And it's always been a hobby and passion of mine. And you may be wondering, okay, so why your bakery, Bunce Bakes, why is everything gluten-free and everything free? So I was obviously a horrible skateboarder. I was skateboarding and I broke my elbow off. And after a couple of surgeries, I ended up developing adult onset food allergies and intolerances when I was 21. And that drew my focus and attention to nutrition facts labels and specifically the ingredients that were in them. I was always looking for products that I didn't want the first ingredient as sugar, and I wanted to get some sort of value out of it, but I also wanted it to taste delicious. And so this came from a personal demand that I had for more products that kind of fulfilled this criteria in the market. So then this year I decided I'm just going to go for it. I still work full time in tech as a designer, but I had experience working two jobs before. This is obviously to another level when you're starting your own business, but I always wanted to build something myself, and I didn't realize that I could do both. And then this year I decided I'm just going to go for it, and I launched Bunce Bakes this year. And so we sell gluten, dairy, soy, nut-free products. And we're also an eco-friendly bakery. All of our packaging is compostable. And Bunce Bakes is built upon the things that are important to me, my values and things that I care about. So Bunce Bakes, we care about providing allergy-accessible, delicious products, exclusively using the highest quality and cleanest ingredients available, making the smallest environmental impact as possible, and then also serving the community. And this is all towards our mission, which is to harmonize the groups of people with dietary restrictions and without. And so we believe that by fulfilling the things that we care about in that aforementioned slide, and providing delicious products for the allergy-friendly community, our products can be so great that whether you do or do not have dietary restrictions, you will still enjoy our products. And so you're probably thinking, okay, that seems like a lot, and you're doing a lot, which is true, yes. And in order for me to kind of pull all of this off, I've taken a few takeaways from managing these two careers. So, spoiler alert, it's all about your mindset. And so my first takeaway is advocating for yourself. So I believe that you should be your number one fan, your number one supporter. In order for anyone else to be your fan, obviously having community is really important, but no one else is going to be able to be your fan if you can't be your own fan. And constantly advocating for yourself and truly believing in yourself and your mission. The second takeaway is compassion. So we are all doing the best we can with the wisdom that we have at the time. And this statement gives me solace in meeting and interacting with any person in any field by acting in or coming from a place of compassion. I feel we're able to better work with and empathize the people that are around us. And the third is strategy. So I like to think of my life as a ship, and we're out living our lives in the world in the great ocean. And if your life is a ship, you need to have some sort of destination, right? So the ship needs to go somewhere, and you can pivot, you can change the destination, and then also dealing with things that happen out in the world. So you get hit by a wave, your ship gets taken over by pirates or something like that. But having some place to go helps us direct our lives, because how are we going to be able to fulfill our dreams, accomplish anything if we don't know where we're headed? And knowing that where we're headed can always change. And lastly, every day counts. So our values, our goals, and our daily habits make up the person that we are, or the person that we want to become. And so this reminds me of a quote that speaks deeply with me, which is, how you spend your time is how you spend your life. So how you spend the minutes of your day, your weeks, your months, your years, that is what we're doing. That makes up the person that we are. And if you like how you're spending your time, then you're liking the person that you are and that you are going to become. Um, and if you don't like how you're spending your time, you can change it. And if you change how you're spending your time, you can change how you're spending your life. So, for example, I know that the 20-minute routine that I have in the morning and in the evening, those 20 minutes is helping build the person that I am and the person that I want to become. And I think it's really important because the way that we're spending our days, the way that we're spending our lives kind of dictates the person that we are. And that